Hey everybody, it's Latanya. And so, day 2 of my entrepreneurial journey. It was a really interesting day, primarily because at work, I was talking to some of my coworkers about a different conversation, and it led to accountability. And my comment was that most people do not want to take accountability for their lives, and accountability, in my opinion, has everything to do with ownership. So, because people don't want to own their lives and be accountable for their actions, they create these stories of victimhood, and it's someone else's fault that they're in these situations. And that, in my opinion, is someone who isn't ready yet to actually take full fledged control of their life. And entrepreneurship is probably not going to be an easy transition for them. So, they'll have to do some mindset shifts, and this is something that I had to do in my journey within being an entrepreneur. Personal development was really critical. I used a scenario of individuals who eat a lot of fast food, eat a lot of processed food, and then they become sick and they don't have the resources. So then taxpayers have to come together collectively and take care of this person because they made poor choices. And my comment was simply this, is that people need to start taking accountability or ownership of their lives and the choices that they make, and not make other people responsible for those choices because they decided to make poor ones. And that's something, in my opinion, that leads to this whole mindset of victimhood, because people feel it's easier to not take responsibility and blame it on another institution or blame it on another individual versus looking at themselves and saying, hey, what is it within me that is creating these moments where I think that's a good choice? And especially if I know in the end, continuing that particular behavior, is going to lead to destruction. Why do I keep doing it? And so I really, I really planted my feet in the arena of accountability and ownership of my life. And that if I want to change my life, I have to get very strict and very intentional with my time. Things like my eating habits, like I don't eat refined sugars anymore because I've taken accountability, ownership of my life and my choices. I've seen a dramatic shift in my energy. I no longer I feel bloated. I no longer feel lethargic because I'm not eating refined sugars or processed foods, because I'm actually setting aside time to be intentional to eat and prepare my meals well. And so, day 2 of this entrepreneur journey, I'm realizing that in order for me to be 100% accountable or take ownership for my life, my mindset shifts have to be consistent. So, during my personal development daily, to continue to fuel the mind of growth is going to be very powerful. What I consume, and consumption isn't just food, but what am I listening to? Am I viewing? What circles am I in? If those circles are not conducive to me growing and being uncomfortable, then those spaces are not spaces that I need to be in. And so, this entrepreneur journey is really about self discovery and self development. And this is the reason a lot of people fail in this particular arena until they get uncomfortable enough to realize that there are things about themselves that they need to work on in a way that allows them to be successful. Because entrepreneurship is a very lonely road. People only applaud you once you're successful. Right now, when I'm in the muck and the mire and I'm getting everything together and I'm coming up with the formulas and the systems in order to streamline the process to make it successful, there's no one here. It's just me and you. And I'm talking to you like I would talk to myself in regards to I have to be accountable for the things that go into my mind, the things that I am around, because you do collect things like subconsciously, right? You may not be listening to conversations, but subconsciously you are, right? You're not actively listening. And so that is what I am taking away from day 2, is that accountability and mindset shift have to be the priority if you want to be successful in entrepreneurship and you want to stay in this long term, because it might take you 6 months, it might take you a year, but when it does hit, you'll be grateful that it did. You'll be happy that you stayed the course, but you need to have your arsenal ready. So you need to be developing your mind and stay in that arena of development so that you can persevere in this journey. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.